You may see me smiling most of the time or every time for some people, but I do not want you to misconstrue the seriousness of my message with my constant smile. My smile is just an inbuilt sort of mechanism that tells of my personality. But I'm a very serious messenger, especially on this particular Sunday talk. When I ask the question, is it only 1 billion? And that's a question that we should all ask. And I would like to recap quickly for the individuals who are now tuning in and who may not know what it is that I'm talking about. The Honorable Prime Minister of Dominica and also the Minister for Finance and belatedly Minister for Housing is responsible for the finances of the state of Dominica. He is responsible to account for where the money is placed and how the monies are dispensed. He, on his own volition, with his own authority, decided to introduce a scheme to a CBI program, an initiative where the passport of the state is sold to raise money, revenues for the state. So what the Prime Minister did is that he, without permission from Parliament and without consulting with the people of Dominica, decided that there should be a particular scheme where passports are sold to raise revenues, and those revenues are placed somewhere that the people do not know, that the government is not aware of, and that he has not accounted for to the people. And those monies, based on his explanations, are monies that he is using to develop housing for the people, especially following Erica and Maria. That's two major hurricanes which devastated Dominica. Constitutionally, this is wrong. The Prime Minister does not have the mandate to so do. And even if he did, which is illegal, he has the duty to respond and report to the people where the money has been placed and how the money was spent and how much. So it so happened that the leader of the opposition asked a question at the budget debate in Parliament, which is where the Prime Minister had to have accounted for the money, and he didn't. And he said, look, if based on the books you're saying that we made $200 and something million, and in only 5 months we would have raised revenues of 1 point something billion, based on the projection that you declared by having sold over 3,000 passports and parading the figure, we should have at least $1.2 billion remaining. Quite rightfully so. The Prime Minister came back and said that indeed this is true, by his admission, and that if he had added that money, the budget would have been 2 point something billion, or words to that effect. I do not have to explain everything. The Prime Minister did that in his own way. The question is, if we could have had 1 point something billion more in 1 year, how much more could we have had in, let's say, 5 years? And considering that the Prime Minister has been the Prime Minister of our country for 15 years, I mean, is it unreasonable to ask whether it is only 1 point something billion? That's all I wanted to ask on the program today. And I wanted you to think about it. I'm not making accusations. I'm just asking us to think and be responsible and be contrite and fair and honest. Do you love your country more, or do you love your country less? Do you uphold a Prime Minister over the good of the nation? Do you uphold a political party over the good of the future of your generations, the children and the children to come? You decide that, and let's talk about it throughout this week. Until the next time.